Oh yeah, today we got a real holy grail. Good afternoon, my fellow monks, and welcome back to another video with the Monkey Setting Sensei. And today, I have another unboxing for you guys, but this one is a really big one in terms of my CD collection. As you can see, my CDs are starting to grow. Collection's bulging up a little bit, but I don't have too many big digipacks. I don't have too many big anniversary releases. I have a couple here. A few you've seen on the channel, been unboxed before. But today is a real holy grail for the channel. And you guys know, 2112, great album, classic Rush album. Really the one that got them started in that more progressive vein. Really helped start that style off. And you see I have it here on vinyl, and I have it here on CD. Should have gotten this out earlier, of course. But before we get into the main unboxing, let me give you guys a little bit of background on the 2112 album. Here I have it on vinyl. This is the 2015 edition. Sounds fantastic. I also have it here on CD, a couple copies. The first one I bought on CD was actually this copy here. Rush Remaster from 97. Still sealed. Never opened it, never listened to it. And then just a few days ago, I was at one of my local record stores. Yes, that's right. And I picked up the same thing. I know, anticlimactic, but this time, it's open. Yeah, and you can tell it's kind of scratched up a little bit, even through my outer sleeve here. But yes, I have two copies, so I can actually listen to this remaster if I wanted to. But I think I'm going to hold off on that, because I have one of my holy grails that I've been wanting in my CD collection for so long. This is starting to get incredibly hard to find now, and if you can find it, it's going for 35 to 40 bucks. I got it for about $10 less. And that is the same album, but this time it is the Gatefold Digipack 40th Anniversary Edition. Yeah, look at that. Alternate cover art by Hugh Syme. I love it. This is the 2 CD DVD edition. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but there's someone doing yard work outside, way out in the back, but it's so loud that I can still hear it over here. So if you guys can hear that, forgive me. I mean, can you guys believe it? I own 4 separate copies of this album now. That's crazy. But 2112 as an album, putting aside the anniversary and everything else, is really the album where Rush honed in their progressive rock sound. The album previous, Caress of Steel, was a great album and one of my favorites from the 70s era, but it was a failure on a lot of counts. They almost got kicked off their label. The tour was called the Down the Tubes tour. It was just one of the lowest points, if not the lowest point, or second lowest point in the band's history. But they came firing back with 2112, and the rest is history. Funny enough, I've had this for about a week now, and I just haven't opened it yet because I wanted to wait to unbox it for you guys. This is kind of the start of a mini-series I'm starting, where I unbox all of these anniversary editions. Now, I do own the Hemispheres one, so I'm going to be talking about that in a separate video. I'll either just talk about it in the series when we get there, or I'll just place it at the end. And I'm definitely going to be doing a ranking video at the very end when I finish all of these. And as a side note, we are still waiting for Grace Under Pressure 40th Anniversary. One of my personal favorite Rush albums as well. It's almost as high as this on the ranking, if I was to rank them. And that album had its 40th anniversary already. We haven't heard any sort of details, but there are rumors floating around there. So hopefully we'll get a 40th anniversary edition. And if we do, I'll unbox that for the channel. Hopefully I'll be able to get the big super deluxe box if they announce something like that. But if I get that, I'm going to buy the CD version of this as well, or DVD, whatever they come with, whatever they announce with it. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to do an entire ranking video, ranking all the 40th anniversary CD deluxe packages. All that intro out of the way, let's get into the unboxing. Let's remove this plastic. That's if I can do it in 2 minutes or less. Ah, there we go. Kind of want to save the hype sticker too, but it's almost impossible to save that with these because they just rip either way. Yep, you guys know I gotta smell it first. Brand new plastic. Here's the hype sticker. Not sure if you guys can read that or not. It's kind of hard to read in my camera, but Again, I salvaged it. Here's the cover in all its beautiful glory. Now, the cover originally didn't have the Starman on it at all. It looked more like this. And the Starman was on the back. But what I like, what Hugh Syme has done here, is he's taken the artwork and he's represented it almost like prison walls. And you can see on the front here, 10, 20, 30, 40, it's going by decades. It's almost as if the character in the story is counting how long he's been in this prison for. So it's a great representation of that particular part of the story of 2112. So we have the overture, which is great. I love the drums on that. Temple of Syrinx, Discovery, that's where he discovers the guitar, Presentation, Oracle the Dream, Soliloquy, and then Grand Finale, which really rocks this song to a close. And then if you have the vinyl edition, flip it over and we get the kick-ass song, Pass It to Bangkok, the ultimate weed searching anthem. The Twilight Zone, very trippy, rockin' track. I love Lesson, starts off with that amazing acoustic opening. Tears is a great soft ballad which uses Mellotron from, I believe Hugh Syme plays Mellotron on that. And then the album absolutely rocks to a close with the amazing Something for Nothing, reprising the themes of the opening suite. That's on disc 1. CD 2 has bonus tracks, which, this is where I have some point of contention with these. This is something I'm glad they stopped doing with later editions. Rush covers. A little side rant. I do not care for Rush covers. Not many bands can pull that off. It's almost like Beatles fans looking at Beatles covers. Not a lot of bands can do those songs justice either. But to me, Rush is even worse with that. Like, the overture is okay. It's cool. You know, it's Dave Grohl, so obviously it's going to have some touch of brilliance in it. Taylor Hawkins, obviously, rest in peace. His drumming is great. Pass to Bangkok's okay. It's Billy Talent, decent band. Twilight Zone from Steven Wilson, not the biggest fan of Steven Wilson. His remix job, his production job is fantastic, but him musically, eh. Alice in Chains, their version of Tears is pretty good. They do their own spin on it, it's okay. And then Something for Nothing by Jacob Moon. I have no idea who the hell that is. His version is whatever. I don't really care. But what is really cool about this is the end of the CD. You get 2112, an outtake of 2112 at 1976, live at Massey Hall. And then you get Something for Nothing, live at Massey Hall, same thing. Twilight Zone live Contraband, which I guess is like a bootleg sort of thing. It's like a fancy word for bootleg. And then you get a 2112, 1976 radio ad, which I've actually listened to on Spotify. It's pretty cool. It has a little intro to the song, and I could imagine listening to that in almost at 2112. I imagine 2112 listening to this. That'd be pretty cool. But imagine 1976 listening to that. Like, that was just amazing. It just takes you right back to that time if you were there. People mowing their lawns, man. Damn. But anyway, the thing that sets this set apart from the later sets is the fact that this one has a DVD. These ones, Farewell to Kings going forward, do not include a DVD. Even the Moving Pictures one, which I wish had a 4-disc edition that came with the DVD. But you gotta buy the $300 Super Duper Deluxe edition with the red barchetta that half of them came broken as, you know, karma as my CD drops to the floor. But yeah, these don't come with DVDs. This one has a DVD. And this has a live at Capitol Theater in 1976. Now, I have seen footage of this on YouTube. Now, I do not know if it's the black and white or not. I believe it's black and white because they hadn't restored this till about maybe a year or two later or even later in the future. So I believe this is still a black and white concert. But you get great tracks on here. You get Bastille Day from Chris Harris of Steel. Amazing. Anthem from Fly By Night, another personal favorite. Lakeside Park from Crest of Steel, a real deep track they wouldn't play till way later on the R40 tour. They play 2112. I think it's still the shorter version. They wouldn't play the full version on a lot of tours besides the Test for Echo tour. And then they play Fly By Night, title track from the same album. Great track. And then they play In the Mood to close it off. Now, I don't know if this is the full show or not. It might be, it might not be. I don't know. But either way, I love In the Mood. Especially in this early era when they play it live because they don't change the lyrics. A lot of times they would kind of goof on the song and they'd change, hey baby to like hey cookie or whatever, and it kind of cheapens the song. Finally, we get the bonus videos, which is an overture, which it bet you it's the same thing that's on here, just in video form. You get behind the scenes with Billy Talent, their version of Paris to Bangkok, and then you get an interview with Alex Lifeson and Terry Brown, the producer of this album, and many a Rush album in the 70s and early 80s. They talk about the album 40 years closer. Essentially talk about writing the album and some of the guitar passages. I've seen this on YouTube, and it's pretty cool. It's a nice half an hour watch. So if you got time, I totally recommend checking that out. But since I got the intro out of the way, the intro out of the way, I have the content of the box set out of the way. Let's open it and see what we have. Because I've not actually seen this open before. There are a few videos on YouTube, but they're very grainy of when this came out. This is still a time in 2016 when YouTube videos weren't the best quality yet. And a lot of people like myself didn't have iPhones that they could just film 1080p 4K video on. So that definitely was a shock. Seeing videos from 7 or 8 years ago, 9 years ago almost now. It's insane to me how much time has flown. But yeah, there aren't many videos on this for whatever reason. But interestingly enough, you open it up and you have one of the weirdest photos of the guys ever. I thought this was from the 80s when I first saw this years ago. I was actually watching a How to Get Into on Rush from Crash Thompson. I totally recommend checking him out. That's how I got into the guys, was watching that video, or videos actually, because there's 2 parts to it. And he shows off this photo. And I'm thinking, no, that's got to be from the 80s, man. No, this is from the 2112 era. They just look kind of ahead of their time almost, with the wind blowing in their hair. And Alex has got the not the V-neck, but like the tank top, and Neil's got the mustache, and his hair is flowing back. It's crazy how 80s this looks. And you get a quote from Anonymous, from the hero or protagonist of the story, talking about basically the city, basically setting the tone for the city of the 2112 suite. Oh, classic CD case right here. The CD2 fell out. And opening up, this is super shiny. Sorry, I gotta sniff it again. Oh my god, look at that. It's beautiful. Plastic is shining off the windows. It's beautiful here, by the way. It's about noontime in the afternoon. A little redundant, but whatever. Look at this photo of the guys in the 2112 era. That is amazing. Great shot. Great live shot. I mean, oh, man, I love that. It's probably the best thing in this package so far. Besides the music, of course. Here's CD1. Funny enough, I've actually seen this on eBay for cheaper. I saw a guy that was selling it for about $13. But the pictures he sent me were CD1 and CD2, but then he had another CD2. So he had another one of these. So there was no DVD. So I was like, okay, I'm just not going to buy it. Thank you for sending me pictures, but no thank you. And here's the DVD. Again, I love the star theme they use on the discs here. And this set is available on vinyl, of course, without the DVD, but you get all the music on the vinyl edition. That runs for $70 to $80. I've seen it on eBay for about $40 or $50. If I have the extra cash one day, maybe I'll pick it up just to say I have the same edition of this, but on vinyl. I don't know, we'll see. It does have a cool book, and I believe it comes with a slip mat too, so it might be worth the money just for that alone. And I'm definitely not getting the Super Deluxe of this because, again, like I've talked about many times before, the Super Deluxe box sets are getting up there. If you want 2112, a Farewell to Kings, or Hemispheres, those 3, you are going to pay at least $300, if not more. Now, I have seen on eBay a couple of sellers, they want $250. They're from Canada, so you're going to pay Canadian shipping, so that's going to cost you an arm and a leg right there. But they want about $250, so again, if I have the extra money, I might buy them, but probably not. But anyway, here's the book. I haven't even seen the book yet either. Starman, and I like it says 40 years on it, and it has like the stamp of the Solar Federation. That's really cool. It's almost like it's etched in stone, like it looks like stone. Like this could be a tombstone for the protagonist of the story. And now we get to the liner notes. 2112 40th anniversary liner notes. That same live shot from earlier in the Digipack or Gatefold. I still call it Digipack. And this is a foreword by Rob Bowman, Grammy Award-winning professor of music. I'd never heard of him before. But what's nice about this booklet, from what I could tell right off the bat, look at how nice and legible the text is. That's amazing. Most CD booklets, if you get a CD, like look at 2112, the text is small as hell. You're not going to be able to read it if you get past the age of 25. And I'm 31 and I can read this, so that I must have something going for me. I'm not going to show you guys the whole booklet. You guys can read it if you already have it, or you can read it online. I'm sure there's something, it's probably written in text somewhere online, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but this essentially goes into how the album was made. They interview all three of the members, well, mostly three of the members. I don't know if this was, I'm not sure if this is done during the making of this particular edition or whatever, because I know by 2016 Neil really wasn't in the best of straits. So what I like is they even go over into the bonus material too after this. So not only do you get liner notes of the album, but you go into a bit of the covers, and I'm sure you get some, yeah, it looks like you get some recollections of how they recorded the covers, which will be an interesting read. Again, don't really care about the covers, but I appreciate you guys trying, you know? Yeah, look at this. Oh, look at that dark. It actually looks like the Chronicles album cover. If you guys seen Rush Chronicles, that amazing compilation I still have to get on CD, which I wish they put that on vinyl. Imagine that in a box set, a big like 6 LP vinyl box set of Chronicles, or even a Rush Anthology, I think it was, that had the first 3 albums. That gray album cover. Imagine that being re-released. And one reason you may want to buy these CD editions over something like these Rush remasters is because these vinyl editions were done by Sean McGee over at Abbey Road Studios. And these were done from original analog tape and then transferred digitally to vinyl. Now, these Rush remasters from 97 are notoriously mixed very loud since it was 97. Late 90s, loudness war, everything was just mixed really loud and hot to the point where everything just clips. But the vinyl records here don't do that. They have a nice, shit. And finally you get some end credits, production notes and all that, and you get an excellent live shot of the guys. Never seen this one before. And then finally you get this ticket stub. Massey Hall, June 12th, Saturday, 9 p.m. And getting back into the production credits before I end it here, these were produced by Sean McGee over at Abbey Road Studios. Of course, Abbey Road Studios, the Beatles, a lot of great bands made music there. A lot of production work has been done over there. The latest CCR remasters from 2019 for the 40th anniversary editions, those were mastered 2019 at Abbey Road Studios. They were actually speed mastered. These records here, all the 40th anniversary editions of these albums, as well as the 2015 reissues on vinyl, those were done at Abbey Road by Sean McGee. Now, something to take of note, that if you buy these albums here, these Rush remasters from 97, these were done during the peak of the loudness war, late 90s, early 2000s. The hell actually went on even in the 2010s, if you look at it. But these albums, a lot of CDs, a lot of just music in general was just mixed to be really loud and hot, to the point where everything just clips. And if you hear like a cymbal crash, it just sounds like this big wash of sound in your ear. It's not pleasant. Now, I don't mind these as much. I don't mind these Rush remasters because I'm used to listening to CDs my whole life. I don't mind. They sound pretty good to me. And I have almost all the Rush albums besides the live ones on CD. And you guys know, if you've seen my Rush retrospective series on CD, I did the first part where I go over from the debut up until about All the World Is Stage or so. I got another part coming where I show all the other albums in their progressive era going forward, but I don't have Exit Stage left yet. Hopefully I'll get that soon. But anyway, these albums were made in 97. When they did the vinyl in 2015, they made it a lot more clear. And there's so much more dynamic range in the music now. And it just makes it sound so much better. What if you're not a vinyl listener? What if you never jumped back to the vinyl record bandwagon? What if you didn't hop on the turntable train? and you only listen to CDs, well, you're kind of out of luck when it comes to Rush, sort of. Because these 40th anniversary editions use the same master as the vinyl, which is amazing. But the only issue is, because not every Rush album has a 40th anniversary edition, since they haven't come for a lot of the 80s albums yet, you're stuck getting some of the 70s albums. Not to mention, the first 3 Rush albums never got 40th anniversary editions. So Sean McGee, the vinyl that was mixed by Sean McGee over at Abbey Road, those are not available on CD. Now, for the 40th anniversary of Signals, that never got a big CD. They got a big CD box set with the vinyl CD. They got a super deluxe box set, but it never got released separately, like with this and 2112 and Farewell to Kings. All the previous box sets, they didn't get a standalone CD release unless you go to Japan. You can import a version of Signals 40th anniversary edition from Japan, but I believe that's in a jewel case, and it's just basically the original album cover like this, and it might say on an Obi strip Signals 40th or whatever. So that you can get that mix on CD. But for the first 3 albums, those never got a 40th anniversary edition, at least on CD. The first album did get a 40th anniversary edition. It was in this big deluxe box and had a Rush family tree. I don't have that, surprisingly. Maybe someday I'll get that. If I can get it. If it comes back in stock, I'll pick it up. But just right now, I don't own that. And Fly By Night and Crest of Steel, they never got the 40th anniversary deluxe treatment. I'm guessing because the live audio from that era wasn't really, like with Signals, wasn't really available because no one was really recording Rush yet. They were still new when Fly By Night and Crest of Steel came out. Maybe someday we'll get 50th anniversary editions of those where we'll get the Sean McGee mixes on CD. Again, but going back to Signals, that might be a Japanese-only exclusive CD release. I'm not sure if those albums have any kind of release outside of America. So to make a long story short, even though I already made it long as it is, if you want this master done by Sean McGee, but you don't listen to vinyl, you're going to have to get the 40th anniversary editions on CD as they come out. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video. What do you guys think of the 2112 40th anniversary edition? Did you buy it when it came out, or did you have to wait a little while? Or did you buy the vinyl edition? Or do you have the super deluxe big box edition? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you did indeed enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. A thumbs up always helps the channel. Make sure to swing on over to that subscribe button to join our musical monk family. Slap that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video to the channel. And if you're watching this video, you already know what to do. Listen to Rush. For all my fellow monks out there, don't forget to keep spinning those discs.